Hello and welcome to the Sands of Time review channel. It is your host Sammy Thunder. I'm back at it once again with another episode of Watch Express, and you can probably see on the screen right now is the Grand Seiko SBGP017, our latest release from the brand, and I've actually personally put in a deposit for this watch. It is a very special watch, and it's to commemorate the 55th anniversary of the release of the 44GS case, and that's what you get with this watch. You get the 44GS case. Now, this is a limited edition, and for those in the know, you can tell that with the golden star there, that this is actually a 9F quartz watch that's a little bit more special. This is a 9F quartz watch which features a accuracy tolerance of plus minus 5 seconds a year, compared to the accuracy tolerance of the normal 9F quartz movement, run-of-the-mill 9F quartz movement, which would be plus minus 10 seconds a year. Grand Seiko have taken it to the next level with this anniversary edition and actually provide to us a visual cue for the movement through the display back, which is great. And if you look at the dial itself on this watch, it is really mesmerizing. It is based off the Shunbon and Winter style of textured dial, and it really is a beautiful watch in this kind of light sky blue. The whole idea about this watch is it's meant to be inspired by the sea of clouds above the Shinshu watch studio, where they actually manufacture the quartz watches from Grand Seiko. So from the mountain views, they say there's like a sea of clouds, and they were inspired by that. Me personally, I don't really care about that story. What I really like about this watch is the dial in that light blue tone, which is just a killer release. If you look at the dial there, paired with a thermally blued seconds hand, which is just great to see that ticking, and also the blued applied logo, which is great to see as well. Another thing about this watch that's very special is the movement inside. It is the 9F85 quartz movement, and this for the first time, even with the highest end quartz caliber that we see here, we have thermally blued screws used on the plates of this movement. This movement is decorated as finely as you would see a Grand Seiko mechanical or spring drive caliber. Quartz is taken extremely seriously from this brand. There's a lot that goes on to the quartz movements, and there are better people than me that can explain this, but these guys age the quartz crystal for an extended period of time, or approximately 6 to 12 months. And this movement is thermally compensated, and it's every day, I believe 560 plus times, it cross-checks the temperature to see if there's deviations in time, and the movement itself will correct itself based on that. It really is a very high-end caliber, and you can look at the finishing on the movement itself. The decoration that we have here is, we have the Coach de Genève, or for all intensive purposes they call it Tokyo stripes on this gold plated plates. You have thermally blued screws, which we see for the first time. And obviously in view we see the battery and the coil, which is fine for me. And this is a 9 joule movement as stated here. So you can see the joules as well. But I just love the clean plates, just with the Tokyo striping in that gold. I think it looks extremely beautiful personally. And this is a limited edition of 2,000 pieces, and unlike other limited editions, it's properly numbered. From other brands, you tend to see they just say one of 2,000 pieces. This isn't it. You actually get the proper engraving of your number on the case back as well, which is great. Why is this watch a hit? Why do I think this watch is a hit? Well, firstly, it's pretty much sold like hotcakes. It's on a pre-order at the moment, and the pre-order allocations are nearly gone. I was very lucky to actually get the pre-order allocation for mine, but it's because of this price point. It's 5,650 Australian dollars for a textured dial. And we know if we want a textured dial like the Shunbon and Winter, we need to pay those prices. But, which is almost double the price of this watch here. Albeit it features the spring drive caliber, it's almost double the price. But another winning formula that we have here is we have that textured dial, but on the 44GS case, which is excellent. Personally, 44GS case is my favorite. I've experienced many of the Grand Seiko cases, 61GS, Elegance case, 62GS, Evolution 9 case. I really think the best case, just in my opinion, would be this 44GS. And to top it all off, they don't just give you a standard quartz movement, they give you the best quartz movement that Grand Seiko has to offer through an exhibition case back. So it's a perfect package at such an affordable price. For comparison, right, there was a release of the SBGP017, which was, years ago for the 25th. It was a 25th anniversary of the release of the 9F caliber, and they actually released this watch. Albeit this features a case with a 18K carat a yellow gold bezel. I'm not sure about the indices, if they are actually yellow gold or if they're gold plated, but this was kind of one of their anniversary editions where they do use the higher end quartz caliber, and they did provide a case back, and you can see that when they did release at that time, they didn't really put in any blued screws. So it's just a cool touch that you see this 9F85 movement get a little bit of extra attention, right? Which is pretty cool. Now this watch was $7,500, fairly expensive, a shorter limited edition of 600 pieces, but fairly expensive because at that time, GS didn't go up market. You were getting 20 to 30% off Grand Seikos, and people weren't going to spend full retail price on this quartz watch. Although I think it looks amazing, the dial's pretty beautiful as well, especially with the gold hand, seconds hand, and the indices. This watch was not selling that well, and authorized dealers were pretty much providing huge discounts on this watch. So that's the SBGP017, and compared we have the SBGP017, which I think is a home run from the brand. The watch is phenomenal. It's just from these press images themselves, I mean, it with the 44GS case, I think this is a home run release. But let's say, is this the best value for money quartz piece out there? I think this is excellent for the price and the whole package. I think they pretty much nailed everything in a Grand Seiko quartz release, and it's probably the best quartz watch, with the best dial. So that's something I really appreciate about this SBGP017. There are other watches out there that feature probably, in my opinion, better technology in quartz, and that would actually be from the brand Citizen. So the Citizen brand, under the Citizen brand, they have the Citizen, and within that they have the Citizen Chronomaster, which actually features a kind of solar quartz, high accuracy quartz movement, and they're able to achieve that by using a washi paper dial, a textured dial that is kind of like, it allows the light to pass through, and the solar cells are able to charge from that, which is pretty cool. And not only that, Citizen have taken it to the next step with the release of the Caliber 0100, a watch that is accurate every year to plus minus 1 second, and it features that similar technology that you would see with the the Grand Seiko 9F. So with the 9F, you'd have a heavier second hand to remove jitter or play with the seconds, the ticking seconds hand. You'd have another gear which would absorb that flicker, which is pretty cool. Very similar, but Citizen taken it to the extreme with their quartz watches with the Caliber 0100, and I think this watch is beautiful, featuring that cream dial, applied indices. It's a well polished watch, simple, elegant, beautiful, really. This is a home run for me. Very similar dial to what I have with the SBGM221, so I really appreciate that. And that's Citizen from Japan, taking quartz movement to the next level. Who else has done this? FP Jean, independent watchmaker. You know, it's not just about mechanical movements. He saw watches for what they are. You have quartz technology, you have mechanical watches. He took quartz to the pinnacle. You know, he released the quartz watch with a lot of technology to it. So it has a sleep, kind of has like a sleep mode function. So if your watch hasn't detected any motion, or it would kind of go into a sleep mode, and once you take the watch on, the handset will take the shortest path to matching the current time. So it's actually still in its sleep mode. It's tracking time. Not only that, not only about the extremely well finished case, the dial features, luminous dial, it's the movement is so beautifully decorated as well. So there are people out there taking watches to the next level. Grand Seiko have kind of done that with the SBGP017 as well, and I'm just, I'm extremely hyped to actually have this one in hand. I knew I had to get this one because it had the winning formula that I wanted, and I knew that, it's limited. I needed to actually pull the trigger on this one. But with the basic specs out of the way, obviously this is accurate to plus minus 5 seconds a year. So they actually made a mistake in writing here, but they've actually notified us that, the accuracy of the watch is plus minus 5 seconds a year. The thickness, since this is a quartz 44GS case, the thickness of this watch is 10.7 mils. So it's fairly thin for a quartz caliber. Not only that, this quartz watch has an independently movable hour hand. So you can jump the hour hand and every, in hour increments, and it won't affect the time. So if you're going through daylight saving time adjustment, you can do that. If you're traveling and want to set the time without affecting accuracy, you can do that with the practicality that the 9F85 offers. Basic specs out of the way, lug to lug 46.2, extremely wearable. I used to own the SBGA375, which features the same case. The 44GS case watches are extremely comfortable. I vouch for it. Even on smaller wrist, as much as it's on a larger wrist, it's just extremely comfortable. 40 mils in diameter. Bracelets 190 mils in length. Water resistant to 100 meters water. 100 meters. And it features a screw down crown. So it should feature a screw down crown from my understanding, with 100 meters water resistance, but we will have to see. I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, I mean, it is stainless steel. If this watch would have been taken to the next level if they actually used titanium, but since it's a quartz watch, it's light as well. Anyway, it's just light. And you probably do want a little bit of that heft. It's fine in stainless steel, but in titanium, it would have taken this watch to another level. I mean, this thing, everyone would have been, any Grand Seiko enthusiast would have just tried their best to get their hands on it. But this is the SBGP017. It is a beautiful watch, and I can't wait to actually see one in person. The dial looks very mesmerizing. Yeah, and it's kind of my first introduction into Grand Seiko's textured dials at such an affordable price. So that's what I wanted to go through in this Watch Express video. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think of the SBGP017 in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. Peace.